have just a real quick one, and then
Okay.
I'm starting to use the member only more, although I have no idea, and I don't know. I guess that could be my question too. How do I know if people are looking at it? But unlike public events, I don't see where past events are shown for members only.
Okay. As far as like an archived feed of all of those.
like we do on the regular public events, it'll say past events. And I don't see that for members only. I mean, it's not crucial, but I was just curious if I should be having it. I don't know how to get it.
I will double check if we have that available. So that would be all archived private events. And I'll see if we do have like a list of that already built in, because then it'll just, if that's the case, then it'll just be me providing you with the URL to that, page.
And telling me what to do.
Yeah. And then, if you want it to be available in the menu, then I'll tell you what to do, or wherever you want it to link to.
Okay. Not a biggie, but I just thought it was kind of strange. And then I did want to just comment that, so Jennifer and I have been experimenting with when we have more than one, well, actually, when we are posting YouTube's, this YouTube films, and we want to have some text in front of it. So Jennifer was, and I think that you were working on that last time or something, but Jennifer was doing it with HTML, but Mary Jo, because she's not going to do HTML. That's why we have the website, so we don't, do it easy. Anyway, so I went to, where it says add text. I think I mentioned this before. Why wouldn't this work? So it says add something like formatted text. So I've tried a few times, and we're still working on the spacing, but you go to add text or add formatted text, but you do that first. You do that, and then you do the embedding code.
Oh, I see. And you're trying to.
And so what I'm saying is I don't have to deal with any HTML, which I said I'm not going to do, but it's easy to do.
She's really adamant about it too.
It's pretty easy to do, except like I said, I am sort of having to learn about the spacing, and I know it.
It's kind of trial and error as well, because it's based on how you like it.
I just want people to know that I don't know if there's anybody here that maybe hasn't tried that. So when you're going to post a video, put the add formatted text, first, and then go back and use your embed code.
So it will be the third-party embed code box. This additional formatted text.
Yes, that's what I pushed first.
Okay, because so if we press this one, it's going to give you a new paragraph, but its default is the WYSIWYG text editor.
Trust me, I didn't change anything.
Okay, but if you are adding embed code, instead you want to add the third-party embed code. So click this one instead.
What I'm saying, it's two steps. First, I do the additional formatted text, and then I go back and I click the embed and put the embed code in. That's what I'm saying. You try it later.
So I'm just saying, when you're working with HTML embed code, if you paste it in when it's set to WYSIWYG, it isn't going to bring up, it's not going to generate the widget or whatever it is you're trying to generate. So it does have to be set to full HTML.
Okay, maybe you just, I don't know, maybe I could share the screen and show you what I'm talking about, but it's not. Trust me.
Well, remember when we did a Zoom, and I lost something because I didn't realize it was in WYSIWYG, and eventually went, after Mary Jo just saying, okay, I'm done.
But I think, Mary Jo, are you saying that first you do the
two-part
formatted text, and then you click the next button, the other button, which is the embed code button?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But I think what Amaris is saying is that you can just switch, once you put the text in that you like, you can just switch to HTML and paste in the embed code. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and I get that. Okay, but I'm just saying, if you don't want to deal with that,
Yeah,
and
but
maybe
it's the
that
same.
helps with spacing, but I don't know. But what I'm saying is, I was able to do it without dealing with any HTML.
Well, you must view some when you
Oh.
But
say add third-party embed
But
code.
I'm just copying and pasting and putting it in the box.
Right. And so that is exactly all you're doing if you are just simply getting the code, but you
Mhm.
are, Mary Jo, in a sense, dealing with HTML
No,
because
I
that's
understand that. I understand that. But me, Mary Jo, is not.
not having
All
to
Mary
type
Jo
out
is
HTML
copying,
or,
and I'm copying and pasting.
right, right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you're
Anyway.
copying, but you are copying and pasting if you switch it to full HTML after you've added the regular the additional formatted text.
Right, but I'm not
different.
like, I never have to look at anything and worry about brackets. I'm not doing any of that. Yeah,
Yeah, but you are when you paste it in, it's
but
there.
I'm not doing it. It's just
Well,
copying.
you aren't doing it when you switch to Oh, I see,
Well-
because when you switch, you see those brackets and that really distresses you.
Well,
And having
anyway,
a fresh paragraph box sometimes is a lot easier to work with too. And like you said,
Yeah.
the spacing, you have way more control over where it's going to sit on the page if you do work with one of these boxes.
right, yeah. So anyway, I'm just throwing that out.
Thanks.
So I
Mhm.
have a different question on using embed codes for the YouTube. So I added our candidates forum. I added the embed code to our homepage.
Mhm.
And so people can either watch it right from our homepage, or there's a link there to click and watch it directly on YouTube, and it'll take you directly to the YouTube.
Awesome.
Is when they watch that from the embed code from our screen, if they never leave that, my understanding is that YouTube, that still gets counted in the YouTube views. Is that correct?
I do believe so. Being that although we're seeing this video on your MyLO site, it is technically still being run and administered by youtube.com. So
Okay.
they're still collecting all of the traffic or analytics, even when it's technically outside of their site.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you.
I have a question about caching. With this site with MyLO based on Drupal, I don't know if it's because of Drupal, but it's very frustrating that you make a change and you want people to see it immediately, and somehow the caching is preventing for that to happen for a while. And I've worked on other websites where it happens immediately. It's like the way the servers are set up. They don't cache the same way that Drupal is doing or MyLO is doing it. I don't know if other people find it frustrating, but when people ask you to make a change to the website, they really want to see it, but they can't see it until it sort of, I don't know, waits around, and you get the old version for a while until the caching stops, and I don't know why it takes so long for those to show. And is that something in the caching that you can turn off on these servers so you get immediate results?
As far as that, I would have to investigate with the team more, but I do believe that it is just the way that this is set up, the system is set up. I've seen other sites running on Drupal experiencing the same thing. And if you ever do feel like it is running really long, you can always call out to me and I can flush the cache from our end so that it will try and help. I tell folks that it is usually anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour. And sometimes we see those longer wait times when the changes are being sent again and again. That can sometimes make the queue laggy and take longer for those changes to show up. So sometimes really patience is just key, or at the same time, let me know to flush the cache and I'll do that too, because it's just really just a click of the button for me.
Well, but not at 12, well. if you have a
Yeah,
different-
true. Not when if you're working at wild hours. But you know, I might be too. I would say never hesitate if you really are feeling like, you know, it's taking too long. I might be there to do that. But know that that's in your back pocket.
Well, thank you, Emerson.
And Maurice, if they clear their own cache though, doesn't that solve the problem?
That definitely helps, because what happens with our own browsers is that our browsers are constantly saving, caching the old versions of sites so that we are never having to wait too long to load that site. So that is also helpful for folks to not only clear their history, but they can clear, I think it is mainly just their browser cache. There's another, I think like DNS flush or something they can do, but that's probably more than the average person really wants to do. I don't think that that's what everyone's going to get into. But yes, so flushing your cache, like erasing the history, will really help to speed things along too.
But you shouldn't, I mean, it's when you say they, that means all your users. And sometimes they don't want to flush their cache because there's important stuff that they've cached. So anyway, I'll
Yeah,
keep
I
you
get
in
that.
mind that I can contact you if it's something really important that needs to be seen.
Yeah, and especially now during election time, I get that is more important than
Yeah.
ever.
Yes.
So keep in mind that I won't mind if you send that email, that SOS email.
Thank you.
Maurice, I'm sorry, did you say what a typical wait time is? I don't seem to have problems with that, but I'm just curious.
Folks notice it when they log out after making the changes. I don't know if you're looking at it only when you're logged in.
Well, I do try,
You do
sometimes
both.
sometimes I do both, yeah. But
Okay.
you're right, I do have to remember to do that though. I usually look at it on my phone and kill two birds.
Mhm.
So, but anyway, so like.
Yeah,
10
it
minutes,
depends.
15.
It is usually, that is probably the most that we see, about 5 to 20 minutes. It can go up to an hour because of any number of reasons, but I do believe that the one that has the most effect is that the changes are being pushed again and again, either like republishing or, you know, creating a new draft and just sending it again and again can slow things down.
Well, I fit into that category.
I've done it myself too. I have definitely done that when replacing a file, and I feel like that gums up the works a whole lot more than when we're doing it, editing a page, because you know we have the function to replace a file without having to completely re-upload it and enter all the specific details. We can just replace an existing upload. But I've done that before, and we always want to see things immediately. And so I go back again and replace again and again and again. And it was about 4 times. And obviously it's going to take some time. So it's really just patience. And so I have to remind myself of that as well all the time.
I often use a different browser.
To check your changes.
Yeah, and I stay logged in on
Mm.
the main browser I use.
And that's probably kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone almost. You're not only checking to see if the changes are going through, but you're also checking to see what it looks like on a different browser. Layouts on desktops are pretty the same, but either way, there may be some nuances between browsers, and so it's always good to check out different browsers, different devices.
And Maurice, I think I've asked you this before. So always have 2 open, and I save the Chrome because there's a couple like Constant Contact and the League thing. You know, you have to use Chrome. So typically I'm using, what's the other one? Edge. And, but did you ever say that there's a preference for either one of those in terms of ease of doing the website or anything? I've never noticed anything. Yeah.
Between those 2, I haven't noticed any difference. The only browser where I think we have noticed one thing was with Firefox, you're not able to resize a picture like with the drag of your mouse. So that's the only downside to Firefox, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world because we do have those display size options when it comes to images.
Thank you.
Anybody have any other questions?
I was going to say, Amaris, for some reason, I had to, this is Eileen, I had to join late and I signed in. So for some reason, my camera's not working. So
Oh, no worries.
Oh.
Oh,
Anyway.
We're sad not to see you.
check the bottom where it says mute and then there's stop video. Is it X'd out? Is the next button
sorry.
start video?
No, I started the
Which feels
video,
like-
but
Yeah.
I wasn't able to join, maybe because I joined late. So, and then it asked me for my name and anyway,
Yeah,
I'll
it shows that her camera's working if you look under participants. So
Yeah.
something else is going on. Yeah.
yeah, it must just have been the way I joined. So like right now
funny.
it keeps trying to connect, but
Oh yeah, I see stop video. How funny. Okay.
Okay,
Well,
but
no
no
worries.
worries. See, I've even picked up your language, Amaris. No worries. No, I had to miss 2 weeks ago. So I always say to my husband, he's getting home now.
Yay.
Some of you, yeah. And he'll be out of skilled nursing, but I would often log in when he was in ICU, or he said, so what are you going to do when you get home? I said, this is my favorite part of the week is the MyLO. No, it is. I'm learning and I want to apply it. So very good.
Awesome. Yay. Love to hear it.
Remember, Eileen lives in Fort Myers.
Oh,
my
yeah.
gosh, that's right.
Yes. So even before his health was the issue, I was very fortunate because we live around where there was a lot of flooding, but I evacuated, I'll be quick, I evacuated with my 2 cats because I was alone and I wasn't a mandatory evacuation. But where I was staying, a roof tile smashed my rear windshield. So, no, but that's all. There, as you've seen, there's incredible devastation. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And now, because the 4 counties that were devastated go heavily for DeSantis, they've been thinking of liberalizing our voting election laws. So,
In what way?
they're worried about it because, like,
I
Lee
mean,
County,
how are they trying to make it more accessible? Like,
you know, I don't know the specific. I
Oh,
just
okay.
know they're in
I'm
a
just
bit of a
curious.
pickle
that is funny.
because the counties typically go like 20 points for DeSantis, and
Yeah, that is so interesting.
and they had, you know, I mean, we still have vote by mail, but you can't, quote unquote, harvest, you know, and the league,
Oh, we can't do that either in Michigan.
yeah, well, the league had to, I think, well, the original legislation, the league had to say something like, I might not be able to, you know, get this vote to you, but then they decided not to do that, but it's still pretty strict about, you know, your signature. And lately, the latest was with felons, which was a big change that you could, if you paid your fines, you could vote as a
And
person.
if you do your fines,
Yeah, that's the trick.
No, but then what he did, if you're a murderer or a sex offender, you can't. But they almost did entrapment. Like they sought people to register who were in that class,
Oh,
and then they arrested them
oh,
as a testimony for the anti-fraud unit that he set up.
oh,
So
God.
yeah. Anyway, sorry. This is
Man.
I know we're a nonpartisan organization. Anyway,
Well,
yeah.
it's
So
not
it's
something that the league wants to see happening as far as just voting rights. So
Right.
regardless
yeah.
of party lines.
Yeah, so sometimes in neighborhoods, they have to change the polling locations and because of devastation. So
Sure.
it does introduce a lot of, but our supervisor of elections has really done well. You know, it's on the web and then we do outbound type of links to what the new information is, so.
But where will the people whose houses were destroyed, where does, if they had a mail-in vote that was sent ballot? that was-
Yeah, that's, you know, and I actually wrote that, I just did a MailChimp on that. They cannot forward, as you probably know, a vote by mail.
Right.
So they would have to, yeah, they would have to adopt another method now of early voting, which I think they were looking at expanding, and yeah, because it can't be forwarded. So, I mean, Sanibel's just a couple miles from here, very narrow, and nobody's living there. So, anyway.
Oh,
Oh, sorry for the.
I mean, I mean, yeah,
I'm deleting. Oh,
it's a lot of intense information, but at the same time, it's coming at us as it comes because it's being figured out, being deliberated as it comes to them. So
yeah.
it's interesting to hear from your firsthand account being in the state. So thanks for sharing.
I just got a text from a phone number giving me a link to an Arabic probably absentee application. Isn't that funny? I just thought I'd throw that out. We have
Is that through the state?
well, I don't know. Well, yeah, you know, it does say SOS now that you mention it, but it could have been somebody else that was sending, probably some
On behalf of them.
Arab group in our city, because we're heavily Arab American.
Recording in progress.
Oh, there we go.
We're hearing you twice. I'm going to go ahead and mute you.
Here, I'll leave.
Oh,
Oh, okay, I see.
Oh, we thought we'd see her.
Let's see if I can remove the old one. I'm going to try. Nope, I don't want to report you though. Okay. So let's see. Oops.
She's muted, but she's not, she still has it on camera.
Oh, did I pick out the wrong one? I had seen her name on screen, you know, the larger version of her name,
Oh.
but now I don't.
Hmm.
But okay, we'll see if she's trying to figure that one out. I don't know if anybody else has another question in the meantime.
Has anybody tried something new, or did you get any problems this week, Amaris, that you could generalize to the rest of us, or?
Let's see. I did have a question about the Google Analytics. Oh, and that kind of hit on a part of, I think, your first question, Mary Jo. You had asked about the members only and how you can see if folks are even using it. And that's how we can use Google Analytics. Let's see if I can.
Well, one of our members does kind of look at it, and then I don't know how to get onto it live, but you're saying that that's one of the areas that would show up, members only?
Yeah, let's see if
like any other part of the website. Okay.
Exactly. So I know that my analytics screen is going to show up a little differently since I am following all of MyLO versus how it would be for each of you following just your own. I just want to be able to show you what some of the data might look like. This one. So you guys might know that we have the control of the analytics for all of MyLO. So you can request a report if you do need. We do encourage you to have it added to your own site because it is way more powerful so that to have that control over the data completely. Because what we give you is usually just one glimpse into maybe, let's say, page views, number of page views, or I can't even think of another example, but when you're logged into your own Google Analytics account and it's connected to your MyLO site, then you get this whole entire dashboard. So
Like the dashboard that we're looking at right now.
yeah, this
Correct.
dashboard here in the middle, and then everything on the left too, as far as the reports, you get all of these different kinds of reports where, let's see, the real time shows you who is exactly on MyLO on your site right now. So all across MyLO in the last 5 minutes, we have 43 active users, and the breakdown is 70% mobile, desktop is 70%. Mobile now changed to 22. And then we have a couple of tablet users at 7%. And
Excuse
so
me, are those members or people from the public that are accessing the local
Yeah.
leagues or that are working at? Oh, okay.
it is folks that are just accessing the site,
Okay.
whether it's
That's
they're
what I thought,
working
but
on it or
yeah. Oh, either way. Okay,
Mhm,
thanks.
the whole connection or
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And so as far as being able to see by the page, I'm having a hard time remembering which is it, site content. There we go. Let's try this one. There should be a search. There we go. Okay. So I just want to be able to search specifically for private or members only URL. So while I have this tab open, I'm going to open up my demo site tab and work with that for the time being. Oh, I should probably put LWV. And I actually don't know if I have a members only. I probably won't have much
Well, we have
information. Is yours already being, are you using yours already?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I've done, tell new people about it. We sent it, everybody's lined up, but I don't know how many people are actually using it.
I see. Okay. That will be probably a much better
I
example.
may not want to see it.
We're going to rip the Band-Aid off all together. We're going to be all here to support you.
Okay. Because I just added a training page and I do events and so it's kind of fun, but I hope it's not being wasted.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is copy the URL address. So I'm just copying what's here. Well, what's going to pop up in the address bar. It is essentially the home page URL, but then the word private is tacked on to the end. So once we go through, okay. So it looks like these unfortunately don't have the word private right after. So the reason I'm explaining that is because I'm going to remove that. I have this URL here that I'm going to use to search by, to filter by in my Google Analytics. But if you were working with just your own in your own account, you would only need to filter by /private because the first part, this part is already known. It's already recognized by your Google Analytics. It knows that that is the property that you are following. So you just tack on with a / whatever comes after that. And actually, since that's the same for my own account, I can actually get rid of this portion, being that my Google Analytics account recognizes that MyLO is the property that I'm looking at. So I can just get rid of that. And this is what I want to see as far as page views. And so I was making that difference between the members only landing page being, that path there. And then this is an example address of an event that you had listed on your members only. The difference is that the word private does not follow the homepage URL. So if you did want to look at the traffic of those specific events, you would have to search by the specific URL. You'll notice,
That's not gonna happen. Okay.
okay.
She's always so,
Well, I mean, I'm just being realistic.
Being
So-
realistic, exactly.
But let me ask you, approach it a little differently. Wait, like in Constant Contact, I can tell who's actually used it, you know, and how they're engaged. Can you do that with the member information? I wonder.
Well, through Google Analytics, you can, to a point, see some activity. You aren't able to do that through MyLO at all. I don't know if that's what Constant Contact does.
Yeah, it's through them. Okay.
Okay, yeah, this is solely through Google Analytics
That's
as far
right.
as
I
all the
forgot. Yeah,
controls.
I forgot. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so I'm gonna search just first for any URLs that contain the portion /Michigan/Dearborn Heights. And we see there are several here. It doesn't include, I don't believe, every single page. But if I add, I don't think I even see the private one. But if we search for private, we don't see any data just yet. But it could be that it's not yet collecting data. At the same time,
Yeah.
though, now that I'm thinking about it, being that it's a private page, we may have things set up in a way that traffic is not tracked the same as a public page.
Mhm.
So I'll check in with the team to see
Okay.
if that is the case.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Like I
So-
said, you know, am I just, you know, I'm wasting my time? I mean, I don't think I am, but I just need to.
I don't think you
Encourage
are, because
people.
I use it a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, good, thanks.
So Mary Jo, okay, so you've made something members only. So if one of your members, so then that members only event or article, whatever you've made that, if a public person goes to your website, they're not able to see that private event. They're not able to see that you're having a misinformation
Right,
seminar.
correct.
Mhm, mhm.
And so does that, does your members only, do you have to sign in somehow separately? You have to go into that members only page and sign in and log in and,
They
It's
have
up
the
there,
login
yeah.
bar across their entire site. Mhm.
okay, all right.
Yeah,
And-
that's what that my account in the, whatever the other word
Oh,
was.
uh-huh,
Yeah,
up here.
and she's right. If you're not in it, which we're all gonna always be in it because we're working on it, it'll say, what does it say? Log in?
Yeah, so this is what it looks like when I'm logged in. I get to see
Oh.
the take action, like all the things that have actually been posted here. If I log out, let's copy this address so I can just quickly get back to it. I'm gonna log out. We're gonna go back. And, oh, it doesn't even open for me at all. I thought, oh, that's right. Okay, just kidding. If I'm logged in as a different user, so that is true. If that is exactly what we want to see. If they're a member of the public, they're not going to even be able to reach it.
Well, it wouldn't say members only either. I mean, I suppose if somebody gave them the link, that would be interesting. If
Let me
somebody
bring
gave them
it
the
up.
link, they still probably wouldn't be able to.
That was
to use it, right?
exactly what we saw an example of. I
Okay.
had the
Oh.
link and I wasn't logged in.
Got it.
But you're right, Mary Jo. I wanted to instead, while being logged out, I want to go to the homepage. Because now members only used to be, well, it technically still is in the menu, but being that I don't have access to see it, it's not
Yeah.
there for me.
Right.
So that's what it looks like for a logged in member. And then I also wanted to show if I was, let's masquerade as Mary Jo, or anybody really, it doesn't even matter. I am still looking at the demo sites members only page, but because Mary Jo is not a member of the demo site, all she sees is the header. So
Hmm.
that's one thing to be aware of. If somebody does have a MyLO account, they will be able to see the header of your members only. So try not to put sensitive information up there.
Okay, I don't think I have it. Yeah.
So then if you're, okay, so now I sign in as a members, I sign in, I'm a member, I sign in as member only. So I get to this members only page and I see those events. Will I also see the public events? Or do I have to go back and forth? Do I have to first look at the public page, see what's going on there, then sign in as a member and then see what's going on there?
Yes, they
Or
could
you could
even
just
sign in
to
at the
begin
beginning.
with, yeah,
Mhm,
just
mhm.
sign in to begin with and then go to public and then say, oh, let me see what's under members. Yeah.
Yeah, by signing in, they have then full access, not full access as an edit access, but otherwise full access to the site.
I see.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I finally put the membership roster up. And
Nice.
I'm gonna start putting minutes. I put our annual meeting minutes. And the one I started today was called training. Because when I was looking for something in YouTube, I found this wonderful thing. I don't even know if you saw it, Jennifer, but it's training on candidate forum moderator training that our state league did last year. And I thought, oh, but I just happened to see that when I was, like I said, I was kind of Googling to find one of ours. And I checked with the person, and they said, yeah, put it up. But again, it's only for members who actually take the time to go in and, figure it out.
Is it hard to set up a member login or,
No,
because I can see the advantages. Or
Oh.
wait, you're laughing, Mary Jo.
Well, because
Okay.
Jennifer, she's in our league, so I'm glad she said that. What I have been doing.
lots of things are easier for me because I don't have Mary Jo's massive brain. And I'm just very focused on one step at a time.
So what I do though, and maybe people are getting sick of it, but I'm just going to keep Jennifer in the voter. I've got, what do I call it? On the, something to remember. I can't remember what I call it, but I'm just keeping the directions there, for people. And they can always call me. Nobody's ever called me.
Oh, I see. Okay.
As far as
So-
the ongoing management of your members.
Well, how to even get in, what their,
Oh, I see.
what their password is.
Yeah.
Because so what happened if you don't have the members only is then I told Maurice, and she did a one-time sort of global process.
Upload of members.
Upload of the members. Everybody had the same password. And so we everybody should have received an email telling them
yes.
this. So now when I get a new member, then I have to, tweak that letter and then I send it to
Okay.
them.
No, I can see the advantages because we have Google Docs for minutes, but it would be efficient to have a personalized approach on. Right now, we only have a public domain and it limits what we publish. So, yeah, good.
I take the other view, so, not everybody wants to deal with having all those logins, users, not, especially the membership, it's just another username and password they have to deal with. So
But I was just thinking, when we work on the website, we're never, well, sometimes I'm kicked out of being, I don't know why, and have to re-log in. But if a member logged in, do they have to log in every time they come in?
It depends on
Because
how
we
long.
don't.
Well, if
I
it
don't.
depends on how long ago you left or how long you've left for. Usually you stay logged in for about 30-ish minutes, maybe an hour. Like if you leave and you come back an hour later, you might still be logged in. But technically, we do get logged out. The system just refreshes and logs idle folks out. Or no, not idle folks, but if you are
Non-administrators, because I never get kicked. I'm always in. When I go-
I've sometimes
Well,
kicked out.
Yeah.
Rare,
Yeah,
sometimes get
there are
kicked out,
times.
but
So maybe
most,
it's not that often. I don't think it's as often as 30 minutes or an hour, but it does every now and then happen. Because I think, yeah, Mary Jo, for me as well, I've come to my browser and I'm still logged in.
Yeah,
But there are times
yeah.
where I'm logged out.
Every now and then.
Mhm.
But what I'm trying to say is for the person who's not an administrator, do they, unless they're going back within a half hour, typically they will have to
Yeah, they'll have the same
to log in
experience.
again.
Mhm.
They'll what?
They'll have the same experience as us. Sometimes they'll be logged in. Sometimes
Oh.
it'll have refreshed and they'll be logged
Well,
out.
Jennifer is an administrator, so she's not a good person to ask, but okay. Oh, all right.
If you wanted to test it out, you also could just, create a person in your league. If you don't already have like a test user.
I actually do, yeah.
Okay, yeah, just
think I
log in as
still have
that
it.
user.
Is there one called Molly?
Oh, it's probably on another page, but in case if you needed to,
Yeah,
just add
yeah.
a new member. And you
Yeah.
can log in as them and just leave it on a browser and then check it back
Yeah.
later or something.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, but the
That's
nice
Molly
thing is,
Durivage for anyone who wants to know. And I still don't get why it's Molly.
Because it's Irish for Mary.
Oh,
Yeah,
You know,
That's right. No, my mother's name was Molly. That's right. And her baptismal name was Mary McDonald.
Ah.
And I'm Mary Josephine because of course the oldest, Mary Joseph.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Very
this is my
interesting.
last digression. My baptismal name was Mary Eileen. So,
Well, hello, Molly.
Got rid of the Mary, huh? Mm,
yeah, so I
Okay.
had some unique identity in parochial school. So, with the name of Eileen, which is the Gaelic for Helen. So,
Oh, I never knew that. Thank you.
I didn't know you were Irish. So, we bond again. So,
Yeah,
You-
boy, I did that Ancestry Plus thing. Oh my God, it's almost 70%. And I know digression, but we don't know anything about my dad's mom in terms of her heritage because she was adopted. Nobody ever talked about it. But the doctor that was Irish that, took care of the adoption, I sort of heard. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking it it kind of shows you, must have come from Grandma D,
mm.
You never know until you
Yeah.
actually go through that actual
my
test
God.
there. Yeah.
So fun. But thank you. I will, that's a good idea. Use my test and figure it out. That's like
Mhm.
also give me an opportunity to actually, try and enroll again because,
Oh yeah, there you go.
Granted, yeah.
Testing that process again.
Yeah, thank you.
Jan, go ahead.
okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
So I wanted to say that we are really, really loving the being able to promote to the front page the LWVUS articles and the LWVC articles. But I have one little request,
Mhm.
and that is because they look so much like our website, we use the red, white, and blue too. People get really confused that they're going off to another website. And they don't realize they've come off our local website. So my request is instead of hijacking them like that, can we just get it to open in a separate tab?
I know what you're talking about.
I will definitely check in with the team. I would imagine that that's going to be fairly easy to do. US.
That'd be great.
Okay, yeah, I will ask about that. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. I hope they can do that.
Yeah, I hope so too. That'll be a nice, hopefully quick and easy type thing. Okay, so I've got a note on that. And hopefully everybody did get a chance to see the Google group post from, I believe it was earlier this week or last week. With the current work that we're trying to achieve and what we're looking to do next. And as the message said at the end, if just like Jan did, just drop any requests. Even if you think it's too big or whatever, we still want to hear them because it may not be feasible as far as the money or the time, but we just always love to have a wish list because you never know, some millionaire could hit us up and say,
Yeah.
we fell in love with MyLO. So
That's right.
Almarise, I guess I didn't see that. I apologize.
no.
So basically you're just saying, keep on coming with your suggestions, or was there something?
Yeah, it was, that was the kind of the conclusion of it, but the beginning,
What's the
I'll-
date? I can go back.
October 14th.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, it just has what we are kind of currently working on,
Oh, okay.
and then the 3 that we're looking to right now. We definitely have other things, like other requests and other improvements that we have either seen or noticed, or we may have picked up from 1 or 2 people, but this has been a thing of prioritizing. So as we get through these, we'll continue to reprioritize and see where we fit everything.
The built-in and print and PDF versions, how hard is, I mean, most web pages I print. What I see is the website, but that doesn't occur with MyLO.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
default print version that we get when we don't make any customizations to it, I don't know if it's going to show up for us here. It brings in a lot of elements that are just probably not necessary for someone who is printing. So,
Oh, I know what you mean, because sometimes I'll print it off because I want to ask you about something. And I think, and I'm looking around, it's got all this extraneous stuff, or is that where I'm getting from National League?
no, you're
I
right.
think it's yeah, I think it's the printout that you're talking about. You're correct. So this is what it looks like by default. And this is usually what happens in most sites if they're just bringing their print version out of the box.
I don't think we're seeing what you're showing.
Oh, sorry. I had it on my other screen. Here we go.
Yeah.
So we will see the text, and then if it has a link on top of it, we see the link right next to it in parentheses. I, for one, personally find that really ugly. And it's just not useful when you're printing something out. You usually don't need those links. And then when it comes to, let's see, yeah, just the overall layout, like the footer across all pages does show up. And so we cleaned up a lot of things. We are still working on that layout, since we did notice a few things are still not showing up as we want, but we're trying to improve this.
The top right under donate and join.
Yeah, all of that is just not looking right. It's because it is laid out for web, and web is not good for print. So we're standing in the middle of that and trying to fix it.
Is that a CSS thing, or what is it?
I am not sure, but it is now something that we have, I don't know if it's an override of our own print version, but being that we have 2 separate versions, one or new versions being the PDF and the print, those are going to take over, and we won't be seeing this ugly version soon. Yeah, and then so those, if you have questions, yeah, feel free to let us know about those changes. And then, like I said, if you have any recommendations, feel free to share those as well.
I'll go ahead and put my suggestion in the group chat so everybody can chime in.
Perfect. Thanks, Jan. That is helpful too. Yeah, if you do feel like it, sharing it with the group helps us in the end, because that gives others the opportunity to say, yeah, I want that too. And so we kind of figure that into how we prioritize things as well.
Or if they have a workaround.
Exactly. We love the collaboration for so many reasons. And Liz, I think you were going to say something.
It's gone.
Oh,
My
Sorry.
aged brain has flushed it out. It's not in the cache.
Your brain is way too fast at clearing the cache. We'll have to take a
Wouldn't I
note.
like it to be going fast? Oh, goodness. But
So-
Jan, are you still typing?
Typing?
I thought you said you're going to put something in the chat.
Oh, not
Oh,
in
in
the
the
chat,
Google group.
in the Google group,
Oh, okay.
so everybody can chime in. Yeah, the other thing I wanted to say about the print, the PDF thing, people just want the content of the article, not the menu, not the stuff in the sidebar, none of that other.
Yeah, and so we noticed, because it wasn't only the home page where it was coming up, it was every single page, because the menu and the sidebar and the footer and the header, all of those elements appear on every single page. So I think it came down to a few requests either last year or earlier this year, and then we finally started diving into it and seeing just how kind of convoluted it was for the print layout. And so hopefully we're getting there. Once I hear back from the team on kind of where they're heading, I might be able to share what the version is looking like in the Google group, so that we can try and get it exactly as we want it before it comes out to be deployed. All right, folks, any last question that we want to dive into here at the end?
When's our next meeting? Is it before or after the election?
That is before the election. I believe it is the 4th.
Okay.
Pull that up. Yeah. Oh, and I already have I put a subject. We're going to talk about troubleshooting common formatting issues. So if y'all know of any ones that you battle with, please do let me know, or maybe we can just do them live on the 4th. But I jotted down a couple that I know I've heard from people before. The first is copying and pasting formatted text. That's probably the most notorious. It happens probably most of the time. We're doing that a lot. And so having examples that include text that is like extremely formatted. It may have different font changes and all kinds of things. Maybe it has colors added to it. Maybe it has a table, it has images. We're just going to try different examples of copying that text and putting it into MyLO and going through the steps of how you would, get it to be formatted as you wish. And then another culprit I have heard of before is working with PDF links. When you've uploaded PDFs to the MyLO library and you're, let's say, listing PDF links maybe for a newsletter or whatever, you're replacing a PDF link because you've uploaded a brand new version or a different PDF, and so you need to replace that one. We're just going to work with that, and that can sometimes be a pesky thing, but we're going to hope that we can figure those out. So if you have any other ideas on formatting issues you've dealt with, let me know. But we'll go into those and then any other questions we have.